Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed the position time graph and velocity time graph, and the different situations also we are discussed. And in the position time graph and the velocity time graph, which type of graphs are not possible? Now we will discuss it here. The graphs which are having infinite slope. You can see the velocity time graph, at any point, if the slope is infinity, so you can observe it in velocity time graph. This slope is we have infinity. Slope infinity in the sense, nothing but slope is nothing but here velocity time graph is acceleration. So acceleration infinity is never possible. That's why the such type of graphs are not possible, which is having infinite slope at any part of the graph. The same way, position time graph, if you take it, in position time graph, here also you can see this part is okay, but this part, if you observe it at this particular part, it is parallel to y-axis in the sense its slope is infinity. Slope infinity, that is nothing but velocity. So velocity, slope infinity indicates that velocity is infinity. Velocity is infinity is never possible, means such kind of graph also it is not possible here. Here slope is infinity, that is nothing but velocity infinity, it is which is not possible. So this type of graphs which is having infinity slopes are there. Such kind of graphs is never we can not possible. In the same way, the graphs which are having at the same instant of time two velocities at the same time two positions are never possible. So if you observe it, this is the velocity time graph. The velocity time graph, if you observe this graph, at the same time t, the particle having two velocities, velocity v1 and velocity v2. At the single time, the particle doesn't have two different velocities. That's why this kind of graph is not possible. At same time, two different velocities are not possible. In the next case, also we can understand that in the position time graph, you can observe it here at the same time, the particle having two positions. Here also you can understand that at same time the particle doesn't have two different positions. That's why this kind of graph also is not possible in general. So at the same time two different positions are not possible. So you can understand such kind of graphs are there. You can say that such kind of graphs does not exist. Next will be discuss the case that next type of graph is acceleration time graph. Then we will go for that. Acceleration time graph. If you take it, acceleration on y-axis and time on x-axis, if you draw the graph, the nature of the graph is you can say as a acceleration time graph. In acceleration time graph, if you take in that, if you draw a tangent at any instant of time, it will give the instantaneous jerk. The tangent to the acceleration time graph at any instant gives instantaneous jerk. And also you can understand that the area under the acceleration time graph under time axis or x-axis, if you take in, it will give the average velocity bounded by the time interval. You can observe it for uniformly accelerated body. First case you can take it accelerating particle if you taken. Uniform acceleration means acceleration remains constant. If acceleration remains constant, what you can expect here is the acceleration is always remains constant, is the straight line parallel to the time axis. Now you can find the area. For example, if I am taking at the two instants of time, at time t1, time t2, here the velocity is u and velocity is v. And if you calculate this area, what you will get here is, according to formula, this is a delta t time interval. Then we have from equation v minus u equal to a delta t. Then acceleration, here acceleration a and delta t, what it is giving here is a change in velocity. So here a into t is nothing but gives the change in velocity, like length into here, breadth we are taking, then it is gives the change in velocity. So you can understand that area under the AT graph and time axis gives change in velocity. Next will be go for the variable acceleration. So we have discussed the constant acceleration is there, and before that just one more case will be discussed it here. We discussed for uniformly accelerated body. If it is non-uniform acceleration body, means the acceleration is keep on changes. So what is that case? How the nature of the graph in that case is? If you taken the non-uniformly accelerated body, so you have taken the acceleration time graph is like this, like it will be like this. It is the slope is continuously changes, means slope varies with time. So that is the nature of the graph for non-uniformly accelerated body. Next we will go for the variable acceleration. What is the variable acceleration? Means the acceleration is changes with respect to time. So in general, that variable acceleration is they will give any algebraic function of acceleration with respect to time, and exponential functions, such kind of expressions they are given. We can say the such kind of accelerations are variable acceleration. In variable acceleration, if they are given to you from that expression, how can you find the velocity as well as the position? We can discuss it. Variable acceleration, and we are taking one example. So acceleration changes with respect to time. Let us take one example here. Acceleration expression they given, a equal to some alpha t plus beta t square. So a equal to alpha t plus beta t square. This is the acceleration with respect to time. So different instant of time, acceleration is going to be changed. Now here they are asking that velocity and displacement or position. If initial velocity is 0, at time t equal to 0, velocity v0 and initial position x0 g. This is the condition they are given to you. Now how can you find the velocity expression as well as the position expression using this equation? A is equals to alpha t plus beta t square. So you can take the expression given a equal to alpha t plus beta t square. Then you can write acceleration means rate of change in velocity, that is dv by dt equal to alpha t plus beta t square. Then you can write the expression dv equal to alpha t beta t square into dt. Now if you integrate it between the limits, then you can get the expression for velocity. So integral dv from initial velocity is 0 to final velocity v we are taking is equals to integral at time t equal to 0 to t. Then we are taking that alpha t plus beta t square dt. Then it will be gives you that velocity v expression is alpha t square by 2 plus beta t cube by 3. And the limits, if you apply 0 to t, you will get the same expression here. 1 by 2 alpha t square plus 1 by beta t cube. This is the expression for velocity. Still, if you want to find the expression for position, then we can further do like this. So we can write the expression for velocity. We can write as a dx by dt. So dx by dt is nothing but half alpha t square plus 1 by 3 beta t cube. Again, if you proceeded, you will get integral dx. Limits are in initial position 0. It is starting from origin, so 0 to x we are taken is equals to integral 0 to t half alpha t square plus 1 by 3 beta t cube dt. Again, if you integrate it, you will get the expression for position, that is 1 by 6 alpha t cube plus 1 by 12 beta t power 4. So this is the expression for position. So like this, variable acceleration is given. From that you can able to find the velocity and position by using the calculus method. Next will we go for conversion. The conversion of position time graph to velocity time graph. How it is there? Just we can see one example here. Here, conversion of xt graph to vt graph. Just I am taking one example here. The graph is given like this. And it is 2, 4, 6 and it is 5. So this type of position time they given. So position time graph they given. From this, what is the velocity time graph you can observe it. That is, this is you can take as a OA, B, C. OA is a constant slope, it is high, and the slope of the position time graph nothing but velocity. And straight line in the position time graph, it is there means what kind of velocity you can say as it is a uniform velocity. And BC, it is a negative slope curve. In a position time graph, negative slope curve is there, that is indicates that retardation. So this is we can say positive velocity, and it is a negative velocity. Velocity increases and velocity decreases. Negative velocity, positive velocity you can write. Then, so this is plus v, and this slope is minus v. You can write because this slope is positive slope, and it is a negative slope. And it is a straight line. Straight line means position remains same. Means it is the particle at rest. So particle at rest means here you can say velocity is 0. So this can be converted like this. So velocity time graph, velocity time if you taken, you can observe from 0 to 2 time interval. Velocity positive, and what is the velocity positive value? you can get the velocity value is by taking the slope. Slope equal to here 5 by 2, that is 2.5 meters per second. So what is that positive velocity? So from 0 to up to 2 time interval, it is having positive velocity 2.5 meters per second. From A to B, that is 2 to 4 time interval, velocity is 0. So 2 to 4 time interval, velocity is 0. So we are not drawing that velocity value is 0. Next, after that, from B to C, velocity is negative, and the negative velocity is that is minus 2.5 meters per second. But from 4 to 6 time interval, the velocity is negative. So this is the velocity which is minus 2.5 meter per second. So like this, we can convert it position time graph into velocity time graph. Next, we can get conversion of one more, we will be discussing here by taking the acceleration displacement curve. So I am taking this curve like this. Here acceleration displacement curve is there like this. Here 10 meter per second square, and it is 40 meter. So taking this as a reference, so we should take this as a reference, acceleration position curve. We have to find the velocity of the body after traveling 20 meters distance. So using this curve, so we have to find the velocity of the body after traveling 20 meters distance, and given initial velocity V0 equal to root over 50 meters per second. So they given us two things, that is, one is acceleration displacement curve, and from that they are asking to find the velocity after what? After 20 meters distance, and also they provided us initial velocity. Like this graph is given if you want to find the velocity expression. So first you have to get a equation, means in terms of acceleration and displacement you have to get one expression. So how can we get that expression? Means this is, you can observe, it is a straight line. So this is a straight line, means this straight line equation is like y equal to mx plus c form is there. Here y means that is acceleration. So acceleration is equals to m. M in the sense its slope is negative. So negative slope is nothing but here minus 10 by 40 in the sense, so that is minus 1 by 4. So slope is minus 1 by 4. So we can write acceleration a, m place here minus 1 by 4. On x-axis we have taken the position plus c. C is the interceptor. So interceptor is here 10. So what kind of expression we have is a straight line expression we have. From this expression you need to be determine the velocity after 20 meters distance. If you want to find the velocity in the sense acceleration, you can write like this. Acceleration a equal to dv by dt. But it is a function of position. So this how can we write again here is this can be written like this, dv by ds into ds by dt. Then ds by dt in the sense that is ultimate velocity. So a equal to v into dv by ds you can write. That if you write there, so acceleration a place you can write v into dv by ds, that is equal to dv dx, or else we can take here position as x. So that's why we are writing as a x. So if you take an x, then dv by v into dv by dx, that is equal to minus 1 by 4x plus 10. From this we can get the expression like this: v dv is equals to minus 1 by 4x plus 10 into dx. Now if you integrate it on both sides, integral if you taken from initial velocity v0 to final velocity v, and after traveling what distance they given here is, after traveling to the distance 20 meters they given, from 0 distance to up to what extent we are going to take here, up to 20 distance. Then we have to find the velocity. Then we can write v square by 2, limits are from v0 to v is equals to minus 1 by 8 x square, limits are from 0 to 20 plus 10x, limits are from 0 to 20. Then if you simplify it, this is you can write as a 1 by 2 v square minus v0 square. v0 they given as root 50, and here 1 by 8 into 400 plus here it is 20. Then if you simplify this one, you can get like this: v square minus 50, and it is equivalent to by 2 is equals to minus 50 plus 400. Then therefore 200 here. Then we will get 150, and means 300 will get. Then v square minus 50. Then we therefore v equal to under root of 350 meters per second. It is what distance means at 20 meters distance. Like this, if acceleration, position, time they given, and if they ask any velocity at any instant, any distance traveling, then we can able to solve the problem by using the calculus method like this. Next, if a body accelerates, suppose a bus is there, if it is starts from the rest, and if it is accelerating at a rate alpha up to reaching to the maximum velocity, again it is decelerating back to the initial position by different rate, retardation rate is beta. Then such kind of model is frequently a very important model, and in that what is the maximum velocity reached by the body and what is the distance traveled by the body, you can discuss it. Now, example, if a bus is there, accelerates from rest at a rate, accelerate from rest at a rate alpha, and decelerating at a rate of beta. Then what is the first case is maximum velocity, and the second one is total distance traveled. So you can understand that the body bus is there which is moving at a rate of beta, accelerating at a rate beta, accelerating at a rate alpha, until to reach its maximum velocity. So what you can understand here is, you can understand by graph here, and graph if you draw, they are given you that starting from rest and it is accelerating, so velocity time graph, so accelerating at a rate of alpha, and it is reaches to the maximum velocity Vmax, and again they are decelerating, and they are decelerating with beta. So in this, what is the maximum height, what is the time taken in this is, let us say taken from to reach the maximum height, it is time t1, to reach to rest again the time is t2. Here the questions are, what is the maximum velocity, what is the total distance traveled in terms of the alpha, beta and t. We have to discuss it in terms of alpha, beta and t. We have to write the expression for maximum velocity as well as the total distance covered. So if you want to find maximum velocity, one thing we can do, this is the first, what is the nature of the graph here? Velocity time graph it is. Velocity time graph slope is nothing but acceleration. Here acceleration alpha, they give it, you can write as a change in y coordinates by change in x coordinate. That is alpha equal to V max by time t1. The same way beta equal to V max by time t2. So alpha is nothing but from graph, we can write from graph alpha is nothing but V max by time t1. Then we can write t equal to t1 is equals to V max by alpha. Similarly, next this is a part of O, A, B. From OA we are getting this one. From OB we can write like this, beta equal to V max by T2. From this we can write T2 equal to V max by beta. Therefore total time interval is nothing but T equal to T1 plus T2. Then we can write V max into 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, that is alpha beta by alpha. Here you will get alpha plus beta by alpha beta. Therefore, we can write the expression for V max, that is equal to alpha beta by alpha plus beta into t. So this is the maximum velocity reached by the body in terms of accelerating with alpha and decelerating with beta. Okay. In the sense, next week we discuss the what is the distance traveled. So distance means, you know, in velocity time graph, the distance is nothing but the area under the curve. So this area, if you calculate, nothing but total distance covered. Now the total distance traveled by the body you can calculate it by finding the area under the curve and the time axis. So now we are going to find it out this area, total distance. Total distance is nothing but area of OAB. Then it is half base. Base is nothing but time t, and height is nothing but V max. And already we discussed the expression for V max. Then if you substitute that here, then we will get alpha beta by alpha plus beta into, already one more t is there, so it will be t square. So this is the distance covered in this time. So this is the one of the example. So we discussed it. Next we will go to the motion under gravity. You know, motion under gravity in the sense, if a body is vertically projected, if you make it fall it freely, it should be only experience the gravitational force only, no other external forces. Then we can say it is motion under gravity. In such cases, so if your body projected vertically upwards, what are the equations of motion? If your body freely falling, what are the equations of motion? The different situations of it will be there, we can discuss it there.